Pravesh, is the PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was discussing about the structure of the prokaryotes, and I let you know. I introduced you all like it is not like the two strands are running in the antiparallel direction, but the two strands along they are running in the antiparallel direction. They are also forming a circle, and the circle is sealed, right? But it is consisting of two unbroken complementary strands. So see, this is the structure. These are the two uncomplementary strands. These are sealed together, and if they are opened, then again the two strands will get separated from each other. So nicks, how many nicks? Nicks is actually the area where some breakage is present, and breakage is present only at the area where the two strands started running, and at the end they again reach the same point. So normally there used to be only one nick, but more than one nicks can also be present. And when they keep on twisting over each other, then they form a super helix. And actually here DNA is also associated with proteins, but the types of the proteins are basic proteins, and the proteins are not the histone ones. These histone proteins are usually present in eukaryotes. So see, this is said to be nick. Now either one nick can be present, either two nicks can be present, or more than two nicks can also be present. And this is the superhelical form of the genetic organization of prokaryotes. That means when extensive supercoiling, coiling, and supercoiling is taking place, it is resulting into the formation of more than one circle. And if you could see, it is giving the appearance like 8. And if we consider only 1 8, then this is the area where, this is the area where that exchange of the genes could take place. Further, the genomic organization is also classified on the basis of coiling. If it is coiling is in the direction of clockwise, then it is said to be positive or right-handed coiling. If the coiling is in the anti-clockwise direction, then it is said to be negative or left-handed coiling. And that means two ends of the linear strands, they join together to form a continuous strand. But this was all about like when binding was taking place. But when unbinding take place, usually unbinding take place. Unbinding means this is said to be binding, where one DNA is coiling over another. But unbinding is when the both get separated from each other. This is said to be unbinding. If the unbinding is taking place at a rotation that is 360 degree, that means one gets separated from another at an angle of 360 degree, then there is appearance as 8, right? And in second case, second is the case when unbinding is taking place at 720 degree. In that case, two nodes are visualized. Now it is clear. Unbinding is when taking place at 360 degree, then one node will be visualized, And if it is taking place at 720 degree, then two nodes will be visualized. And these forms of coiling, they are to be made stable, and that stabilization is with the help of stabilization takes place with the help of an enzyme that is said to be topoisomerase enzyme. There are basically two types of enzyme. The one is that is relaxing the negatively supercoiled DNA, and the second enzyme gives the energy that is actually required for the unbinding. Because as I said, there are two forms of the DNA on the basis of their helical position, binding position. So the one is that is relaxing the DNA, and another one is providing the energy for the unbinding of the DNA. This is all about genomic organization of prokaryotes. So I will just once again I will dictate like genomic organization is where the two strands, they are coiling one above each other, and then they are resulting into the formation of circle. This circle is close the place where sealing is taking place, that is said to be nick. When I said one nick can be present or two nicks can be present, then it is not always like once they have binded together and they have resulted into the formation of circle, they are no more going to unbind. No, it is not like that. They can unbind, and unbinding either takes place at 360 degrees Celsius, or unbinding either takes place at 720 degrees Celsius. If it is taking place at 360 degrees Celsius, then it will result into the formation of a single 8. If it is resulting into the unbinding is taking place at 720 degrees Celsius, then it is resulting into the formation of 2 8s. Right? So this is result of the binding, that is the structure of the prokaryotes, and this is the case of unbinding. And the structures which are required for the stabilization, this stabilization is maintained by the enzyme that is said to be topoisomerase. Topoisomerase enzymes are of two types. One is topoisomerase 1 and another is topoisomerase 2. One is responsible for relaxing negatively supercoiled DNA, and another one is providing the energy to unbind. Okay, so this is all about genomic organization of prokaryotes. Now we will discuss the genomic organization of eukaryotes. This is the genomic organization of eukaryotes, and it is very interesting one, First, I will show you the structure of genomic organization of eukaryotes. This is actually the structure of genomic organization of eukaryotes. Like in case of prokaryotes, I told you like in prokaryotes, there is the presence of DNA, and along with the DNA, there is the presence of basic proteins. And I stressed like no histone proteins are present in case of prokaryotes. But when we talk about the eukaryotes, then in case of eukaryotes, there is in case of eukaryotes, we have DNA, and along with the DNA, again we have proteins. But the proteins are not the basic proteins. The proteins are now the histone proteins. And these histone proteins are since 8 in number. So this is said to be a nucleosome. This structure is given a name, and this name is said to be nucleosome. Now I'm going back to the initiation of genomic organization of eukaryotes. So see, this is a genomic organization. Here DNA is highly organized in the form of a complex that is consisting of DNA and protein. And this complex is given a term that is said to be nucleosome. The proteins which are present, these are said to be histone proteins. Now, next question that must be coming into your mind is, what are the features of histones? So histones are the small proteins. These are basic proteins, and these are rich in the amino acids such as lysine, arginine, and basically there are 5 kinds of protein, histone proteins which are present: H1, H2A, H2B, H3, and H4. And together there are 8 histone proteins, like 2 of H2A, 2 of H2B, 2 of H3, and H4. H1 is no more considered here. It is present, but it is not present in the octamer. Octamer is the resulting from the combination of H2A, B, H3, and H4. So 2 of H2A, H2B, H3, and H4. Altogether, 8 histones are present in the octamer. See, H2A, 2, one is this one is this one, 2. 2 of H2A, 2 of H2B, this is 2 of H3 and H4. And this is H1. This is the core of 8 histones, and this is H1. And this red one is the DNA. This red one is the DNA, and that is coiling around this. It is coiling around this octamer. If we talk for the size of the octamer, it is 11 nanometer long and 11 nanometer long and 6.5 to 7 nanometer in diameter. See, one octamer is linked to another octamer through a DNA that is said to be linker DNA. This linker DNA is actually the stretch of the DNA that is existing in between the 2 nucleosomes. And the length of this DNA is varying from 14 to over 100 base pairs. So, this is another thing, like normally the structure of genomics organization of the eukaryote is all about nucleosome. But sometimes one nucleosome is connected to another nucleosome, and the connection between the two is taking place through the linker DNA. So now it is clear, like DNA is coiling around the histone proteins. And when one coil is completed, then it proceeds to the next, and then it forms a nucleosome. So nucleosome is what? It is an octamer or 4 histone proteins which are complexed with the DNA. See, this is histone, right? Okay, before I come here, see, this is the structure of chromosome where there are 2 arms, and in the center is the presence of centromere. See, this is the double-stranded DNA. This DNA is linked to the linker, this blue one, and see, it is forming nucleosome. Then one nucleosome is connected to another nucleosome through the linker DNA. And here, when extensive supercoiling is taking place, one nucleosome is now connected to the next, to the next, to the next. Then this is resulting into the formation of complex structure, and this complex structure is all about nucleosome. Later on, this excessive folding result into the formation of chromatin fiber, which then turns coiled, and then it is forming in the formation of chromatin. So I hope it is clear, like in the genomic organization of eukaryotes, DNA is there that is linked to histone proteins, resulting into the formation of nucleosomes, 1 nucleosome, 2, and when extensive nucleosomes are present, then a complex structure chromatin fiber is formed, which later on, when get coiled, it results into the formation of chromatin. That means when there is maximum folding of the DNA, then that is the particular time where chromatin becomes visible. And these chromatins are only the ones that are visualized as chromosome at the time of cell division. So what we can say, like if we talk for the genomic organization of eukaryotes, then we can only say there are repeating units, and those repeating units are said to be nucleosomes, which are, because these nucleosomes are present in the form of beads, so it is also referred as beads. So this was all about genomic organization of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. But simply also I will let you know what is gene organization. Gene is what? The functional region of genetic material. Now, if we talk for the gene, then gene is consisting of genomic DNA is consisting of two parts. Very first part is functional one and another is non-functional. Non-functional means that is the junk DNA and that is no more required within the DNA. But the functional one is the one that is responsible for the formation of proteins. And what protein is formed that in turn can be determined by the amino acid sequence present. The another part, it is performing regulatory role, and that regulatory role helps in determining the time and extent of decoding in the life of an organism. You know, when we talk for the DNA strands, basically there used to be two strands. One is sense strand and another is antisense strands. And as the name itself is indicating, sense strands means the one that is having sense. And now the sense is, in terms of scientific language, we call the strand that is actually responsible for the synthesis of protein, that is actually coding the DNA, right? That is sense, because it is performing certain functions, so it is making certain sense. So this is the reason it is said to be the sense strand. The thing is that only like two strands are there, 5 prime to 3 prime, and the 3 prime to 5 prime. The upper one is sense and the lower one is antisense. And when polymerase is joining here, it is resulting into the formation of another strand is synthesized. See, this is genome consisting of two regions. One is functional and another is junk. Junk means not required, and even if it is present, then it is no more performing any function. Functional is the one that is resulting into the formation of proteins, or it may not be resulting into the formation of proteins. And also it is resulting in the translation. That means functional is the one that is resulting into the formation of proteins and amino acids. See, what is the function of DNA? Proteins are synthesized from the DNA. And how proteins are synthesized? This is DNA, and DNA is resulting into the synthesis of this protein. What protein is being synthesized? It in turn can be determined by the sequence of amino acids present. This is the DNA, and this DNA is resulting into the synthesis of proteins. How proteins are being synthesized? There used to be genetic code. Genetic code is the one that is consisting of three triplets. That means three bases. So one base is the one triplet is responsible for synthesis of one amino acid. Second is responsible for the synthesis of second amino acid, and so on. So from here they will start reading the sequence, and if suppose like here C is present, then in the opposite direction G is going to be synthesized. Then if we here A is present, if it is RNA then U, if it is DNA then T, and so on. It will result into the formation of RNA. Now in correspondence to A, U is present because here RNA is being synthesized. So this is the reason instead of U, TU is present there. So this is about a difference between the genomic organization of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. When we talk for the genomic organization, then there is no interruption. But in case of eukaryotic genes, now it is split into several segments. One are the exons, and within the exon means functional one. And along with the exons, in between there is the presence of non-coding sequences that is said to be introns, which are no more required. So what is to be done? These introns are to be removed and exons are mixed in various combinations to create the new gene. This can be more understood from this thing. See, this is the DNA. This DNA is consisting of axons, and in between the axon, the green one are the axons, and these in betweens are the introns. Introns are the one which are non-functional. That means they are not performing any function, so there is no requirement of say introns. This entire gene is transcribed from this DNA. Pre-mRNA is synthesized, and from pre-mRNA, when all these non-functional coding regions are removed, this process is said to be splicing. Then it results into the formation of mRNA, and later on mRNA is translated to result into the formation of protein. Now, protein can be any polypeptide. You must be thinking how this transcription and translation is actually taking place. There used to be the sequences like promoter and regulator. This is the ancillary region that regulate and control the expression of proteins at specific time and under specific conditions. So it is not like it will be happening out at any time. It is actually taking place at a particular time only. And these are the projects that are going on, like the complete genome map of certain organisms has come into our knowledge. Like for example, if you talk for the Drosophila melanogaster, then the genome length is this much, and it is consisting of these many base pairs. Similarly for the E. coli. So this is all about the genomic organization of prokaryotes. And now is the time for polling. I will be showing you the polls questions. Kindly go for answering it. One more minute. All to answer fast. Okay, time up.
नाही आता आहे ना जिगळ बोल बघू नाही नाही नाही
Here comes your second poll. The chemical nature of DNA consists of 4 nitrogenous bases. Is it true or false? Okay, I'm ending the poll.